gonna be so great. We have so many different types of customers at market, like, that all cook so differently. Most of our customers have had a life-changing moment for food.
Right.
So it's like,
And that's what they're
something
shopping
we
at farmers
all have in
market.
common. I'm here with Dina Geiger, nurse practitioner, certified nutritionist, and wonderful foodie. We're gonna be unboxing week 9 of Lower Valley Farm CSA share, and we're gonna be making some food. We've got 2 heads of butterhead lettuce.
Oh, some of my favorites.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So versatile. A beautiful cauliflower.
Gorgeous.
Red cabbage. Some loose beets this week. Oh,
Oh, there we go.
okay. Thai basil.
Yum.
Just the rest of the beets. We've got some stripes, dark red and golden.
Oh, I love beets.
Sugar snap peas.
Yum.
Vegetable candy, the green onions, and beautiful collard greens. So that's a nice box of food. It's amazing that it all fits in there. So Dina's gonna use some of the food from the box for a recipe that she was inspired to make when I told her it was in the box this week.
Okay, so from the baskets, we're gonna use the lettuce, we're gonna use the peas, and we're gonna use the greens. And each one is gonna be a layer. So the fun part about this salad is we're just going to tear these leaves. We don't even have to chop it. Well, sorry. We're gonna chop the end off. Pull these apart, rip them in quarters, and think about filling the platter that you want to serve on. So for our beautiful crunchy peas, you've got this top on here. You could slice it off, but if you give it a little tear, you'll see there's a little string, and you just pull that off. This is a perfect activity for your kids to do. All right, so with these peas, I'm just gonna do a quick slice. You can, and then sprinkle them. So the next layer of our salad are gonna be the beautiful green onions. These are so nice, they're so young, you can use the whole thing. What you wanna do is just trim off all the fuzz. If you don't wanna trim them all at once, I just set them in a cup of water.
Oh, nice.
And set them by the sink, and then just pull them out and
That's a
chop
great
them
tip.
as needed.
Love that.
Not everyone likes a big chunk of onion, but the nice thing about these is that they just give you that just faint onion fresh crunch. And you're gonna want about half a cup to a cup.
Okay.
So for our dressing on top, we have 2 separate layers. I've already made ahead of time the first mix, and this is sour cream with a little bit of sugar.
Oh, nice.
There's about not quite a quarter of a cup. So use it to your taste.
Mhm.
Some people like things a little sweeter if you're that ranch dressing kind of person, or if you're making your own vinaigrettes, not so sweet. So go to what tastes good to you. Sour cream and a little bit of sugar, yep. And then the next layer is mayonnaise. Not Miracle Whip, it's gotta be mayonnaise. And a little bit of white wine vinegar. If you don't have white wine vinegar, you can use a little cider vinegar. You could kick it up a notch and do white balsamic or a balsamic.
That looks like just right to me.
This is pretty darn good. The next step is about a cup of Parmesan cheese. And then our final step is bacon. Bacon makes everything better. Right, and that will definitely entice everybody. So we're gonna sprinkle the bacon on top.
So pretty.
Go. So what you want to do is cover this with saran wrap, 4 to 24 hours.
Okay.
That will make your lettuce actually get a little more crispy. The flavors are gonna melt together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Could use a fork.
Good, but
Mmm. That's delicious. Cauliflower is big and it can be intimidating, and so I usually just get into it straight in half and Then from the other side, Dina's brought this nice knife. And you'll probably find that versus the California organic store-bought ones, there's a lot more on here, a little less stem, and a lot more cauliflower. So if you don't want to use the whole thing at once, you put this, do not put it in the fridge just like this. You want to put it in a plastic bag first, and keep it in the crisper, and it'll keep for weeks. They do cook down, and they're a lot of food, and you can use them so versatile. So I'm just taking the core out, and the florets kind of fall off of there. And I'm gonna use this as something to have in the fridge. I'm gonna roast it and have some roasted vegetables ready for when I'm making piles of food, so that I can eat food, so that I can grow more food. So I'm gonna get enough in there that it's like a single layer on the bottom of a big pan.
A good herb for cauliflower is thyme.
Oh, nice.
You roast thyme with your oil and veggies.
We're always gonna want to put some oil with roasted vegetables, so they don't dry out, and to make them delicious. And I've always thought that helps you absorb the vitamins.
You need fat. You need fat to absorb your vitamins and minerals. So
I do kind of like that.
healthy fat is your friend.
I like the avocado oil because it's, you know, you can pour it, which is easy.
Well, it is better at high heat.
Yeah.
And you get
For
this at
roasting,
Costco for
yes.
$10.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that long ago that it's like the only way to get stuff like this at a reasonable price was to be in a parking lot at a certain time as part of a food buying club. And now it's at Costco.
Yeah,
I don't have to buy a case with my tax refund once a year. We just go to a store and buy it. It's so like we're living an amazing time.
Avocado oils. Amazing.
Yeah.
So get rid of your vegetable oils, your corn oils. This is what you
it's
want.
a good go-to.
Cook your chunk of what is this? Cauliflower. Is leave your leaves on because the leaves are tasty. Put it in the middle of a baking dish. Salt, pepper, a little more of that avocado oil, and just roast it like that.
Oh,
Whole.
I love it.
It's gonna take a little more time, but it looks kind of cool. And then take some lemon juice in the last 10 minutes. Squeeze it over the top. Sprinkle some more of that Parmesan cheese we were talking about in the last 10 minutes, and just let it finish roasting and getting melty. Yummy.
How long would you say that takes to cook?
This is gonna be like about a half hour, depending on the size of it.
Yeah.
But plan on
And how dense it is.
Yeah, just enough to cover the base of the pan.
Okay. About like that.
Yeah, that's good.
And then a little oil.
Yep.
And would you salt it now?
I would do, the salt is gonna help bring out some of the moisture. Yeah, so a little salt and pepper. So 350, 375,
About
30 to 40 minutes, depending on the size. You know it's done when it smells good and it's pork tender.
Great.
Coleslaw is standard at my house. I love this cabbage. It's a little more dense than the green. Be very careful with a very sharp knife. It's good to have a sharp knife at home, and watch your fingers. I like my coleslaw very fine. My husband likes chunks.
Chunk.
You know, and I think when it comes to vegetables and how people like things, some people get turned off by having these big pieces. I mean, it's all fiber. You gotta chew it a lot. And sometimes when you have it in real small pieces, I think you get more of that dressing, more of that flavor. So kind of experiment with what works with your family. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of the different cut. We always ate it at my house very small and fine. And
We always eat it out of a bag.
did you? Okay. This is my auntie's coleslaw.
Nice.
So when you're cutting, curl your fingers around so you're not chopping your fingers, so you can get a nice fine cut.
Oh, you do that very well.
I always tell people the more color you eat, the better nutrition you get. So go for those purple cabbages, purple cauliflowers, darker green lettuces. You know, you want to eat at least 5 colors a day. So you can't have coleslaw without onion. It just doesn't go. That would be grocery store coleslaw. And this is farmer's market coleslaw. I find the easiest way to deal with these beets is just to use your cheese grater. Check that out.
I never get over how beautiful they are.
I can't either. And look at that. So making your own salad dressing is a piece of cake. So we're going to use this white wine vinaigrette, or vinegar again. You can use cider vinegar. You can use balsamic. You can use whatever. We're going to go with a white dressing this time for our coleslaw.
Nice and light with all those beautiful colors.
Yeah. And then avocado oil.
Okay.
And then that Thai basil we talked about earlier, where Mandy took the flowers and separated them off. We can throw those into our salad for a little nice bite. So we're just gonna chop this up really fine, because if you don't chop this up real fine, and somebody gets a whole leaf of basil, especially Thai basil,
Especially if they're not used to it.
and they're not used to it, it might ruin their palate for trying it again. So whenever you're using herbs, just cut them up real fine. And this is gonna be a lot of
Like one thing at a time, and that's what I often tell people, because it's overwhelming to try to do a total overhaul. Like
It
one
is.
intentional change at a time really adds up.
It does.
Yeah.
And this is the jar that just had some of the leftover dressing. Maybe
A couple of those.
a couple of those.
That's a really
There we go.
tiny one.
So a little bit of salt
Just a
to bring
little.
out the flavor.
Just a couple for a crunch, right?
Yeah.
Yay! So I've chopped up some golden beets, chia beets, and some cabbage together with the cauliflower, and I'm gonna roast that to use for making stuff.
But when I dip it into a pot,
Oh, you leave it on?
I leave the handle on.
That's so smart. Did you hear that?
So this is what I wrap my hamburger in. So we got a pot of boiling water. And you don't want to get too soft or it'll rip. So do you see how I did that for 30 seconds?
Yeah, that's perfect.
So this rib is pretty tough. And you'll start to see where it starts to turn a little darker green, where it starts getting more tender. And just run your knife. Or you can even use a pair of scissors if you're worried about your knife skills.
I love putting salad in wraps.
You see most of the salad's gone, almost gone in the time we've made this, because we can't stay out of it.
So good.
So bring up your sides, tuck it under, pull up a side, pull up a side.
Oh my gosh, it's so much prettier than how I do it.
Ta-da!
I love that. What? It's really good. So, Dina, thank you so much for your time today. Beautifully inspired red coleslaw. Keeping the handle on the collards. It's really smarter than how I was doing it before. So thank you for that. Yeah, using the sugar snap peas in things. I've never really done that before, and it's such a nice crunch. Also the idea of the whole cauliflower, love it, because I always resort back to my chop it up and cook it, which we did some of that too. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right.
The fajita's the funniest. Fajita? Like, it's so hard to be like this. Coming right up. You're not recording, right? You are? Oh my gosh.
I had to.